All right, welcome everybody. Welcome. This is going to be a very thorough thorough video. I had a chance to look at some of the videos out there and people speaking on how they got started in the notary business or what's the best course of action. I know my course of action is very different from a lot of other people. So, get your pen uh, and pads ready because we about to go in. It's going to be real serious, y'all. I see everybody still joining that other page. I hate that I can't get that one lit right now. What's up, Linda? How you doing? How you doing? Good evening. Good evening. Absolutely. I listen. I prayed on this video, and I asked God to help me be completely transparent, to really just shatter whatever thoughts that you may have had in your mind on how to approach this business, because this business has changed my life, and is continually changing my life every single day. So I want to thank everybody that's watching this video right here, and you guys can put your questions in the chat. We're going to get real thorough, very intense with what I'm going to explain to you, because I promise you what I'm going to teach you tonight you have never heard before. This camera got me looking like real skinny and shit, right? Got me, I'm swole, y'all. I'm like, it got me looking like I'm a crackhead in this joint. What's popping? Anyway, so just to make sure that I am on point with everything, Linda laughing. Just to make sure that I'm on point with everything that's on here right now. And it's so bad because everybody jumping on the other page, but the other page isn't working. It's okay though. It's okay. Yeah, there's like 4 people waiting on the other page. To make sure I'm very thorough on this, the first thing we're going to cover that really helped me out. So let me tell you how I started, right? I was an engineer for a company called Trinity Tech. Trinity Tech worked with companies like Ford, Clarion, and different businesses like that. So what up, Travis? So I hated that job. The only thing that made that job cool was that I was working with a really good friend of mine, right? And but I didn't enjoy it. So while I was working that job, I ran across, I was looking for side hustles, right? And maybe you're in the same position. Maybe you're in a job that you just dislike. It just sucks. I was looking for a side hustle that could be my main hustle. And I wind up hearing about the notary industry, right? And I didn't know anything about notaries. I didn't know notaries could even make that type of money and all that. So I was like, okay. I was like, first thing I need to do, I need to get some mentorship. So write that down. Number 1, get some mentorship. Get someone to teach you this game, because this game is huge. It's really big. And I'm going to explain to you how big it is in a second. But if you look at the size of the numbers of notaries in this industry, there's only 4.4 million notaries at the time of this recording, right? Over 44,000 notaries actually dropped off in the last couple of years. So when you look at the number of notaries in this industry, it's really not that big for it to have that much of an impact. It's only 4.4 million. So I got mentorship with the Notary Business School. That's where I started. I'm letting you guys know who my mentors are. I've seen some videos out there. They won't even say who they got their game from, who they learned this stuff from. They just straight up keep it a secret and act like they came up with all the shit themselves. I did not do that. First thing I did, I enrolled in the Notary Business School by my man, Andre Hatchett. One of the most pivotal things that he said in that course was, do not look at this business as a notary, look at it as a businessman. Completely mind shift, right? Because when I approached this notary business, I approached it as an employee. Heck, I came from a job that I was an employee. So naturally, my mindset was enter this business as an employee. So I took his course. I learned about some of the notarization stuff, right? I was like, and then he had some really, really, really unique ways of marketing yourself. So the second thing I did from the mentorship now, he showed me how to create a Google, at the time it was called Google profile. Now it's called Google business listing, right? That was the second thing I did. I created a Google business listing. I'm writing this down because I'm gonna do a recap with you guys. Okay? I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I got to 6 figures in my first year with this business. So I think I enrolled 2017, around like November or December 2017. I actually didn't crack the course open until January 2018. Now, mind you, I did not have my commission yet. Okay. So I rolled out the Google My Business listing. And I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, I started getting phone calls a week later. As soon as it got verified, however that took, it didn't take that long. It probably took like maybe a week or so. I started getting phone calls. Now, mind you, I'm still working my engineering job. I'm like, okay, can I get this notarized? Can I get this notarized? I could not do anything because I had no commission. I didn't have my notary stamp. I didn't have anything. So I'm getting all of these phone calls, and money is just slipping through my fingers. And I don't know if you guys ever been in a position. It is a horrible feeling for people begging you to give you their money, but you can't take it because you don't have the credentials to accept the money. So again, I went back to my mentorship. He had a curriculum on how to build a notary agency. So the whole point of the notary agency is fulfilling notary assignments, but not fulfilling it yourself, contracting other notaries to fulfill the assignment. So I said, I really need that because I'm getting all of these phone calls and I can't fulfill it. I went through that course, and sure enough, I was able to find a notary that was in the same building as the engineering firm, in the US Bank building in Calumet City. I went next door and I said, hey, it looked like you're a notary. By the way, she was a real estate broker. I even still have her price sheet. Her pricing was high. Her pricing was really, really high. So I went over to her and I said, hey, look, I'm getting a lot of people that are interested in the notary business. Would you be interested in, running some of the assignments? She was like, absolutely. I was like, do you have a price sheet? Within 24 hours, she sent me her price sheet. Her pricing was a lot more money than I was expecting, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to do notaries for like $60, $45, $30. She didn't have nothing less than $100 and something. So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to make money facilitating assignments to her, I have to charge more than what she's going to charge me. For instance, she would charge like $125 for a power of attorney. In order for me to make money, I would have to sell it for more than $125, right? So as calls started coming in, and I was nervous in the beginning, you guys. I was really nervous in the beginning because I never sold notary assignments. I've sold other products, but I've never sold notary notarizations for documents before. So as I was getting the phone calls, this is the next tip that I recommend to you guys. I created a call script. I created a call script because I realized that I have to be thorough in my phone calls. I have to be thorough in my phone calls if I'm going to maximize the most amount of money when it comes to getting the notarization done. So when the people would call, in the beginning, I was like, hello, how can I help you? Oh, you need a notary? That was my initial phone calls. And I was like, this ain't gonna work. So I created, at the time, it was called the $250,000 call script. It's now called the $1 million call script. And the call script started off with a professional greeting. The professional greeting was like, thank you for calling Illinois Public Notary Service. That was my initial name of my business. Illinois Public Notary Service. So that's how I would answer. Thank you for calling Illinois Public Notary Service. This is Mark. How can I help you today? Right? And as I did that, I noticed that I was able to ask for more money. I was able to pay attention more to the phone calls I was getting because these people that are calling you, they're not inquiries, ladies and gentlemen. These are sales calls. You're literally taking a sales call. So you have to conduct yourself accordingly. So I would notice that they would say things like, oh, this document requires a third-party witness. I can't get one. Do you guys, like the customer was asking me if I could provide one. I was like, whoa, this is an upsell. This is a solution to the problem that they're having. So the call script allowed me to recognize upsells, downsells, cross sales. I hope you guys are taking notes. Cross sales, and it allowed me to identify the urgency. This is what they're really paying you for, the urgency. We call it the bleeding neck. See, if somebody got a nick on their neck, they don't need a doctor. But if they're bleeding and then there's blood squirting out of, through their fingers, they immediately need an ambulance. They don't care who you are. If you're coming to help them, they're going to ask for your help. They'll be like, do you need some help? Do you need me to call an ambulance? Yes, 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 right? So being able to identify urgency in their voice was critical. So I was able to identify urgency, upsells, downsells, cross sales. So that was the third thing I did. So let's do a quick recap. The first thing I did was I got mentorship with the Notary Business School. The second thing I did is I created a business listing, a Google business listing, so people could find me. If people can't find you, they can't call you. If they can't call you, you can't convert them into a customer. It's that simple. Sales and marketing. So as I kept doing this over and over again, I started to realize that this business is mainly about sales and marketing. Okay. So now, mind you, this is January of 2018. I don't have my commission. I didn't have my stamp. I didn't have my notary journal. but I am making money in the notary industry. I don't know why people make it seem so complicated to have a notary agency. It's really not that complicated. It really isn't, because it's very easy to find notaries to run assignments for you. You just got to vet them out and make sure that they're up and up. They don't have a mush mouth. You know what I mean? They don't sound like they're drunk on the phone. They have a professional greeting when they answer the phone. Like, you can basically tell if this person is going to be a good person to work with or a pain in the ass. Right? So from January 2018 to about January, February, March, April, I didn't get my commission until April 2018. So for 4 months, I was dispatching notaries to run assignments. Now, I'm in Chicago. I had notaries in Chicago, and I had notaries in our neighboring state, which was Indiana. Now, I don't know what's in the water in Indiana, but the notaries out there are a little bit sketchy. They do some sketchy shit. But nonetheless, I wasn't turning down that money. Okay. So for 4 months, I'm dispatching notaries, and I'm making money without running the assignments. Now, I want you to ask yourself this. What if you went on vacation? Would your notary business continue to make money? Type it in the chat, yes or no. If you went on vacation tomorrow on a cruise for a week, would your notary business continue to make money? Better yet, if your car broke down, which we're mobile notaries, right? If your car broke down, it needed brakes, transmission, whatever, would your notary business continue to make money? I'm glad you're honest. Thank you, Linda. That's why I always suggest that notaries learn at least the fundamentals of running a notary agency or notary firm. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it. I'm gonna show you how easy it is for you to run a notary. I told you, I'm gonna give you guys the work. I'm gonna give you guys everything. You go to a website called notarycafe.com. On notarycafe.com, they will give you, all you have to do is type in the zip code that you need the notarization in, and a whole list of pretty good notaries come up. When you're looking for notaries, I would suggest that you look for the person that has at least 90 to 100% of their profile completed. 90 to 100% of their profile completed. That means they took their listing very seriously and they want to be found. Now, if somebody has a 50% profile completed, don't go with them, because that, even in school, that would be considered a failing grade. So I want you to use like the grade. Like, is this A plus? Is this C? Is this a D? Is this a F? Use that. Once you go on notarycafe.com and this person has like a 90, 80 to 100% profile completed, don't call their office number. Don't call their office number. That office number is sometimes it's just a Google voice that bounces you from here to here to here to here. Call them on their mobile number. Call them on their mobile number. And then simply ask them and say, "Hi, Linda, I have a notary in your neck of the woods. Are you available to run this assignment? We are paying." Now, if you already have a set price, how much you want to pay them, do that. But I'm gonna tell you a secret. 90% of notaries do not know how to price themselves. You heard that right. 90% of notaries do not know how to price themselves. So what I did was, in the beginning, I was offering the price, right? I'd be like, hey, Linda, I have a power of attorney in your neck of the woods. We're paying out $100. Are you available to run that assignment? And immediately I would get a yes. It wasn't until like maybe a couple of months later, I said, everybody's agreeing to the price that I'm giving them. Let me fall back and let me ask them what their price is. I might be surprised. So now the phone call went like this. Hi, Linda. This is Mark with U.S. Notary Agency. We have an assignment in your neck of the woods. Are you available to run it Thursday at 6 o'clock? Now Linda says, all right, let me check my schedule. Let me see what we have available. Yeah, I can run it for you. Fantastic. How much would you charge for a power of attorney? And guess what would happen? Linda or whoever it was would tell me a price of $60, $65, $40. That was way less than what I was actually willing to pay this notary. I was willing to pay the notary $100. This person told me $40. I just increased my profit margin by 60%. I'm giving y'all some heat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's giving you this on this type of this podcast, this stream. This is real. And you're not cheating them because they gave you the price. They offered that price to you. So you don't have to feel guilty. You did your job in acquiring the customer, giving out a price. Let's just say I charged the client $150. I was willing to pay the notary $100, but the notary decided to tell me that they will do it for $40. So now my $50 profit turns into $110. Y'all see how that worked? Now I made $110 instead of making $50 on that same assignment, simply by positioning my question differently. Tell me if you follow me, y'all. Type in 1 if you follow what I'm saying. Type in 2 if you don't, and I'll reiterate so you guys can get a really good grasp on how easy it is for you. And by the way, this only takes about like maybe 5-10 minutes. This is a 5 or 10 minute phone call that I'm having with the other notary. What up, Don? So so now that they give me $40, they tell me $40, I say, now again, just because they gave me a low price don't mean I'm gonna go with them. Because they may sound mush mouth, they may sound like, they're buying a bottle of Hennessy at the fucking liquor store. I'm not doing that. Because again, the professionalism has to be there. It has to be there. So if, let's just say this person does sound legit, what I do then is, okay, Linda, we'll be more than happy to give you this assignment. By the way, we do pay within 24 hours. I let them know. We pay you within 24 hours because a lot of notaries have to wait 3-4 weeks for a damn check. That shit is ridiculous. They have to wait 3 to 4 weeks for a check from some of these signing service, title, and escrow companies. So immediately I differentiate myself from those companies that are taking long with their money, and I push them to the side. I said, we pay you within 24 hours. They're like, really? Oh, that's fantastic. I send them the details. Now, I will say this. Only because I've been burned a couple of times from some notaries, I've given the notaries the phone number. I don't give them the phone number anymore. Because what happened was a notary, and again, this was Indiana, right? They called my client and finagled me out of the deal and then took the deal for themselves. Some people they just don't know how to do business, y'all. That's just what it is. Now, for the most part, most notaries are on the up and up. They deal with integrity, and they're solid with it. This notary was just a shady crackhead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she was on drugs. I don't know what was going on and I've used her before. But she snaked me, called the client behind my back, cut me out of the deal, and actually sold it, offered to do the deal for much less than what I was going to pay her, and which made no sense to me. So if I was going to pay her like $90, she cut me out of the deal and then agreed to do the notarization for like $50. I was like, you just cut your own throat, moron. But we don't do business anymore. So I don't give phone numbers out to the notaries anymore. So when they go out to the assignment and be like, hey, if they're running late, I'd be like, just call the office. We'll call the client and let them know that you're running late. It's nothing, right? You want to be the point of contact. And then they run the assignment, they do their job, and then you pay the notary. That's it. That's it. You get your profit. You made some money. The notary made some money, and the client got their documents notarized. Everyone is happy. Probably take you about 10 minutes. Now, one of the main reasons why I did that as well, to learn the whole notary agency side of things, is because it's more scalable. I can only run so many appointments. 3 appointments, I'm pretty much tapped out. I'm done. I'm not trying to be a workhorse. But I can dispatch 10 appointments a day to different notaries and still be in my house with my house shoes on. So I'm giving you out a game on how I was able to build a 6-figure business. So April 2018 came around. I got my commission. I got my stamp. And then I got my journal. Boom. Now, I realized after I started running some assignments, I was like, wait a minute. I have another stream of income now. The first stream of income was having the notary agency and dispatching different notaries. That was the first stream of income. I actually got into that by default. The second stream of income is that I could run the assignments myself. That makes sense, y'all? The first one is having a notary agency. That's a stream of income. You don't have to touch any documents, get in your car, nothing. The second stream of income is actually running the assignments yourself. So now I'm like, all right, when I'm bored and I don't have nothing to do, I'm going to run some of these assignments just so I can see what's going on. And then I could keep all of the profit for myself. So I did that month after month after month, right? And I was doing and it's weird how I was doing it. I was charging like $30 to do assignments for myself because I didn't build enough confidence in myself to know that I could charge that much when I was going to do the assignments. I have more confidence in the other notaries than I had in myself. And I was like, okay, as I learned these assignments, these notarizations, I'm going to continually increase my price. And it didn't take long. It didn't take long. One thing I will recommend too is do not underprice yourself just because you don't have the experience. Do not do assignments for cheap just because you don't have the experience. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do that. Because the likelihood of you making a mistake is very high in the beginning. So if you don't charge enough and you have to go back out to the client's house, guess what? You're in the negatives now. You didn't make enough money. You didn't make enough money to cover your expenses for going back out to the client's house. So I would recommend paid training. What's paid training look like? Charging enough to the client early on So if you do have to go back out to the client's house, you'll still be in the positive instead of the negative. So if you were going to charge $40 to do the assignment and the likelihood of you making a mistake on that document is high, I would charge $120. So if I do have to go back out and pay for gas, time, traffic, print out paper, or whatever else that you have to do, your cost is covered. Now, number 4, I realized that I did not want to run every single assignment, and nor did I didn't have a problem with the agency side, but I knew that there were ways that I can make money passively in this industry that no one else was talking about. So I decided to write a book. And for those that know my work, I wrote a book called Rise of the Smart Notary. And that book became a #1 bestseller. Why? Because there's not a lot of books in the notary business. Although this industry is old as the pyramids in Africa, in Egypt, there's a lot of ground to cover in this industry. So I wrote a book, and that book started bringing me money. Thank you, Linda. That book started making me money passively. It got to the point where the book was actually bringing me at least one. It would pay for a whole assignment. So I was like, okay, now that's tip number 4. Write a book if you can. Of course you can. Why couldn't you? If you're doing enough assignments over time, you're going to be very well versed at something. It could be apostille. It could be loan closing. It could be power of attorney. It could be trust packages. It could be business documents, I-9s. There's a lot of documents out there that you would eventually be an expert in. And no one says your book has to be like a 500-page manual. It could be a simple 129 pages, right? And then get your book out there. You pay somebody on Fiverr to create a book cover for you. I'm gonna give you the numbers, the real numbers right now. I paid a person on Fiverr $25 to create the first book cover. I paid the first book I didn't get an editor, but I did get a formatting person, someone to format my book so I can actually put it on Amazon. That cost me another $25. So it took me a little bit of sweat equity to write the book, and then $25 for the formatting person, and then another $25 for the book cover. In total, it cost me about $50, right? Out of pocket. That book got uploaded on YouTube. Not YouTube. Amazon and Barnes and Noble and a couple of other places. And then even to this day, this book continues to make me money. This book continues to make me money right now. So I want you to really think about in our culture, we're very big on hustle, 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 grind, 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 work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. If we're not breaking our backs and the wheels are moving in our car, we're not making a living. Get that shit out of your head. Get that out of your head. The people that are making really, really good money in this day and age are smart or wise. Not the ones that are breaking their back. It's not. Otherwise, construction workers would be multimillionaires right now. So if you have an idea, if you're in the notary business over time, I recommend write a book about it. So now I became an expert at what I did, right? Because I was doing it for a while. So that was 2018. I wrote my first book May 2011. I'm sorry, May 11th, 2020. So 2 years later, I wrote my first book. That became another stream of income for me. So now, how many incomes do I have? I have the notary agency. I have me being a notary. And then I also have my book sales. 3 streams of income now. I never stepped out of the industry. I'm still in the notary business. I'm still in the notary industry. So the book does well. I'm still running appointments. I'm still dispatching appointments. And it sounded like it was a lot, but I was doing all of this part-time. At this point, I quit my engineering job. I didn't need it anymore. I have more time to spend with my family, more time to do what I wanted to do. Heck, and this is me not approaching the loan signing business. No shades to the loan signing. More power to you. But I realized when I created that call script that I can make more money doing what a lot of people call general notary work. I call it specialty notary work. I was able to make more money doing specialty notary work in half the time than loan signing agents were doing in 45 minutes and longer. Don said, "What's up, bro? Love your content. Can you drop some advice for a 20-year-old who dropped out of college? I am stuck on what should I do? Get in the notary business. Get in the notary business. Easy paper, man. Easy. Okay, let me give you some real numbers. Affidavit, I charge $129.97. If you know what an affidavit is, it's one page. It's like literally just one sheet of paper. I charge over $100 for one piece of paper to get notarized. I'm not printing. I'm not doing no FedEx run. I'm not doing any scan backs with that one piece of paper, with that one affidavit. $129.97. Power of attorneys, I charge starting $178.97, and it goes up from there. If I have to provide a third-party witness, if it's expedited service, like they need rapid response, if they need the paper printed out, if they need scan backs and stuff like that, of course the price goes up from there. Trust packages, $250 and up. Business documents, I don't do anything less than $129. I don't care if you're writing that shit on a napkin. We're not dispatching any notaries out there for less than $129. I just had a student out in Vegas. He did his first power of attorney notarization. What was that? Friday or Saturday? He got $235 for less than 30 minutes. So these are real numbers. But also he paid for a mentorship, right? Because I asked him, I said, how much would you have charged that client to do that power of attorney? He said, I would have charged about like $60, $75. I was like, oh, okay, well, doesn't it feel good to be able to get a $235? I could show you guys the check. He screenshot, he put the check on his journal and took a picture of it and sent it to me. Shit, I don't have my phone. I would show it to you guys. That is the power of rule number 1, mentorship. Linda said, I have a question. Do you have a breakdown for what you are charging? I am asking due to what my state says you can charge. What state are you in? What state are you in? Because Linda, there's a formula to this. I'm gonna be honest. You don't tell your clients Yeah, I charge you $50 traveling fee, and then I'm going to charge. Do not a la carte your services. Do not. Let me repeat it again. North Carolina. Okay. Do not a la carte your services. There's nothing more of a turnoff to your clients when you do a breakdown of everything that you're charging them. It's annoying. It's like nickel and diming them. They hate it. Just think about the last time you got nickel and dime. You didn't like it much, did you? So some of the things that you could charge for would be, of course, the traveling fee, right? But again, don't tell them that how much you're charging for the traveling fee. Expedited service. So, oh, you need same day service, or you need this done in an hour? Well, hell yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more money. Think about FedEx. FedEx has FedEx Ground, and then you have overnight. If you want to get overnight, you're going to spend more money for overnight service, right? So expedited service, you're the same way. You need us to come out in the next hour, 2 hours, or same day service? Boom, you could charge more for that. Oh, you need us to come out after business hours? Boom, that's an additional charge as well. You make your hours. You are the entrepreneur. You are the business owner. The state can only tell you how much you could charge for the notarization, and they can only tell you how much you could charge for the traveling. But they can't tell you how much your time is worth. Well, state, I value my time, state of Illinois. You got to tell me how much I could charge for my time? I value my time. So again, you could charge for that. What else? If you have to print out the paper for them, and I'm giving you guys real numbers. If you went to FedEx today for a black and white 8.5 by 11 page, you're going to spend anywhere from 14 cents to 16 cents per page. Well, because I'm giving an extra layer of convenience, meaning I can print it from my home, and then I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to charge you 25 cents per page. So for 4 pages, that's $1. Oh, you need 250 pages printed out? Cha-ching! Cha-ching! And that happens. But again, we're not going to say that, right? We're not going to tell them exactly what that is. So 0.25, come on, 0.25 times, let's just say 200 pages. That's an extra $50. That's an extra $50, right? But again, that call script allows you to really dissect these phone calls. I got a thing I'll offer you guys at the end too. So, what else can you charge for? All right, hospital visit. I had a lady. She said to me, I need a last will and testament done. Can you come out to the hospital? Now, this hospital was called Northwestern, which is downtown Chicago. Off the rip, I'm paying for parking, right? Like no questions asked, or my car is going to get towed, or there's going to be a boot on it. That's just what it is. It's downtown. So I realized that. I was like, okay. She said, after I gave her a price of $285 to do it. That was with everything included, parking, everything like this. She's like, $285? Why are you so much? I just called another notary and they told me that it was only going to be $30. I said, $30 to come downtown to a hospital? The parking in the hospital is $14 by itself, ma'am. Didn't that seem a little bit sketchy to you? She said, yeah, I thought something was funny. I'll go with you instead. I was damn near 5 times more expensive than this other guy was. And I was still able to close that deal. People understand. Most people aren't looking for a free ride. They just want to know that you're going to do the job and they can trust you to do the job correctly. And if you feel that you're going to make a mistake, let them know, like, we have a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. If for whatever reason we make a mistake, we'll come back out. Hold on. We'll come back out and notarize your document for you at no extra charge. That's the least you could do. That's operating in integrity, wouldn't you think? And that helps them be more comfortable making a decision, and even better, giving you the credit card over the phone or putting their credit card through one of your payment gateways. Now, I found out that a lot of people are not getting paid up front. Stop that. Start getting paid up front. Stop asking your client to pay you via Cash App. Invest a little money and get Calendly, okay? And you getting Calendly will allow them to book the day and time that works best for them. And then also, there's a payment gateway at the end, so you can actually get paid up front way before you do the notarization. I know it might sound foreign to you, but you can get paid way before you do the notarization. By the way, since you guys are on here, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I do this for you guys. I already know this stuff. I just want to share so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes I made, or like a lot of my students have made. So please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. It really helps out. I'm trying to get the YouTube checks now. I like the YouTube checks. Thank you for those likes. Oh, by the way, continue to ask your questions. I want to answer your questions in the chat while I have you guys here. So okay, I wrote the book, right? I wrote the book. Then the next thing I did, naturally, now mind you, I went and got more mentorship. I did take the loan signing system course after I took Andre Hatchett's course. Wasn't my cup of tea. Nothing wrong with the course. It was very, very thorough. Just not my thing. It just wasn't my thing. You know what I mean? I didn't like waiting for 3 to 4 weeks for a check. I didn't like, I really didn't like, one of the things that I really didn't like, the way that these title and escrow companies were talking to me, and the way I saw them talking to some of my students. I felt that they were very disrespectful. I felt like they were insulting. And I said, I'm a boss. You're not going to talk to me that way. You're not going to guilt trip me. And then what I saw happen with a lot of my students, because they held that check, right? They had the check. They would use that check as leverage to get the notary to do things that they didn't want to do. Hey, we need you to go back out there and do this. We forgot this document. Oh, if you don't take the document, if you don't take this document, which we fucked up on to get it notarized and stuff, we can't send you a check. I didn't like that. I wasn't feeling that at all, man. Oh, Linda, you're in luck. Linda, you still here? Linda, you still here? Type in 1 if you still here, Linda. I got a surprise for you. Got a surprise for you. All right, you still here. All right, let me cover her name because I don't want you guys reaching out and calling her and shit. But I found her price sheet. This was the first notary I hired onto my team, y'all. The first notary I hired onto my team, and this is her sheet. She was no joke with it. I hope you guys can see those numbers. This was her price sheet. Let me tell you her breakdown. So a mortgage refi, and here's the cool thing. She even gave me the price of the signing service, what the signing service and title company would charge would charge the client and how much she would charge the signing company. So she gave me two price tables. So the mortgage refi, because she was a broker, right? She was a real estate broker. So she got to see both ends of the spectrum. So for a mortgage refi, the signing service or title company would charge anywhere from $200 to $300. She would charge them $125. Same thing with a loan modification. She would charge $125. But the title and escrow company would charge $200 to $300. For a quick claim deed, she was charging me $100. Signing services charge $200 to $350. Power of attorney, she charged me $100. Signing services would charge $250 to $300. And for each additional signer, they would charge $25 each. You guys might have to play this back just to hear those numbers and write it down. An affidavit, she charged me $75, one signature. Any additional signature, she would charge $25 each. Signing service would charge $150. I was actually lower than what the signing services were charging. I was charging $129.97. They were charging $150 and up. Mortgage package, she would charge me $175. I paid that a few times. And each additional signer after the second signer was $25 each. The signing service title escrow company would charge anywhere from $350 to $450. Now, it's good for you to keep this in mind, what the signing service title and escrow companies would charge, because now you can see how much room you have to actually charge them. Those notaries that I see charging charging these title companies $65, you're leaving a lot of room, a lot of profit for these title companies, because if it doesn't go to you, it just stays with the house. That makes sense? Financial statements. I'm using the charger. I'm using it. Nope, sorry. Kids. Financial statements, she would charge me $250. What constitute as financial statements? This was lottery buyouts. This was insurance companies. These were proof of life, lawsuits. So those constituted as financial settlements. Signing services would charge the client $350 to $500. And then she had miscellaneous notary sealing, minimum $50. I never paid her $50. It was always $100 and something dollars. Loan closing, she charged me $175. Signing services would charge $350. And of course, eventually I was negotiating the shit out of these prices with her, because she didn't leave me any meat on the bone. I did not charge as much as I should have. So again, I don't know if you guys can screenshot this. If you guys can, pause it and then screenshot it. This is her numbers. And then on the back, I actually made my own price sheet. This was early in the game. Like, I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my worth then. I was doing affidavits because I was in the office. I was charging them $50. Mobile was $59.97. I don't even. This shit is embarrassing. These prices are freaking embarrassing. I'm not even going to go over those with you. I don't do those prices anymore. So I hope that helped you out with some of your pricing. Any questions about that? Type it in the chat if you had any questions about the pricing of those documents. Her price sheet was solid. It was solid. It was so good that she can send it to other companies and like, all right, this is my price. Take it or leave it. I could care less. It was really that good. Okay. So going, as you guys are typing in your questions. Big one or small one, what? So, can I finish the webinar first? No, they got big one or yeah, I got the small one. All right. Okay, can I have the big one? I got the big one too. Jesus Christ. I'm using them. Thank you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye. Who else got kids? Who else got kids, man? They will photo bomb you in their drawers, yo. Damn. Anyway. All right. So I wrote the book, right? I'm getting some of this passive money coming in from Amazon, everything that's going good. I got the agency going. I'm running assignments myself. What was the next step? What do you think the next step was for me to really expand the notary empire? You guys are probably seeing more of a resurrection or a rise of notary coaches. Well, I'm one of your favorite notary coaches' favorite coach. So I got into the coaching space. After I wrote the book and I saw how well it did, people started requesting for, do I have an online course? And you'll be surprised. You may think that it's saturated. I promise you it is not saturated, especially in the notary business, not by any stretch of the imagination. You know why? Because the way Linda can deliver information, I can't do it that way. The way hubby, the CEO, can deliver information, I cannot deliver it that way. The way Dan could deliver information, I can't deliver it that way. So your signature voice will resonate with somebody else. I have a certain tone of voice. I swear in some of my videos. This is my personality. So certain people resonate with me. So I got into the coaching space, and I tell you right now, man, it was a game changer, because I was documenting my journey as I went along in the notary business. Every time I would I would do a notarization, and let's just say a unique situation would happen, I would create a video like I'm creating a video right now and offer it to the public. And that started something else. Then I went on Patreon. So Patreon was the first. Now write this down, you guys. Number 5, I created a course. Like I told you, some people probably came on here expecting me to say, oh, I went to this course and I put my name on a million signing services. I didn't do none of that. I didn't do loan signings. I didn't sign up with 103,000 signing agencies. No, I didn't do that. I did what was working. I'm gonna give you guys a tip too, and if you're a disruptor like myself, this will work out for you incredibly. If you like playing it safe, stay clear away from what I'm about to tell you. So number 5 was an online course, right? So this is what I did. When I realized that my Google business listing was the key factor of me getting assignments, most people will create 1 or 2 listings, right? And they let it run. Now, you guys know that I had an agency. So I was like, wait a minute. If 2 listings are working, 4 listings should work. I was putting these listings out on the street like it was heroin, y'all. Like it was coke, crack. I was putting out as many listings as listen, if I worked with you, most likely I offered to create a listing for your home. If you were in Florida and I'm in Chicago and I did a notarization with you, I'm going to say, hey, John, would you like to continue working with us? It's like, yeah, absolutely. You guys are great. Fantastic. This is what we're going to do. Just to make sure that you live where you live and we can put our marketing machine in your neck of the woods, I'm going to send you a postcard from Google. A lot of notaries didn't use Google the way I was using it. I had a formula that I learned from the notary business school, right? So I took that formula and I duplicated and then I injected with steroids and then it just blew up from there. So I went from 2 listings to 12 listings to 30 listings. And then I believe I tapped out at 70 listings. Now, again, if you are a disruptor like me, that's a play. Now, here was the pro. I'm going to tell you the pro and con for that. For 4.5 years, I ran strong, y'all. I ran real strong. I mean, I ran so strong with the notary business that I had to hire an executive assistant out of the Philippines to help assist with all the business that I was getting because my phone would not stop ringing. So I had a 4.5 year head start. Now, according to Google's guideline, which I did not break the guideline, by the way, but they felt like I was monopolizing the industry. So they began to suspend my listings to the point where out of 70 listings, I probably have about 2 or 3 left. That's just the truth. But I had a 4.5 year head start. Do you think I'm complaining? Do you think I'm going to complain about that? You gave me a 4.5 year head start. Thank you, Google. Okay, you decided to shadow ban me. Okay, no problem. You gave me a 4.5 year head for 4.5 years, day after day, month after month. I'm bringing in like 9, 10 racks. No, stop now. Stop. So that's a play. Now, here's the thing. They just rolled this thing out where they say you can. The reason why I got suspended is because I never set it up as an agency, which I did. But you have to be careful with that. So this is a crucial thing that you have to take into consideration. If 90% of your business is coming from someplace, you better start looking at alternative sources because that is too much power for any company or any directory to own. For them to own 90% of your incoming cash flow in business, don't let that happen to you. That happened to one of my students in California. She landed a title company, which I believe is the second largest title company in the entire United States. And one day they just called her and said, we're not interested in doing business with you anymore. That company was responsible for 95% of her revenue, generated revenue. They let her go with no explanation. And she was out of 95% of her income overnight. When I mean she was stressed out. Now, mind you, she lived in California. You guys know the rent and the mortgage is extremely expensive out there. She damn near pulled her hair out. I'm sure she aged that, within that time. But don't let that happen to you. If you feel that majority of your leads are coming from one source, you need to start looking at alternative sources because then they really got you by the balls. Okay? That's just a hot tip. So number 5, I rolled out the online course. When I started rolling out the online course, that became another stream of income. I did not step out of the notary industry. See, when they're telling you how to have multiple streams of income, a lot of people think that they have to have multiple businesses in different industries bringing these streams of income. When the problem really is that they weren't thorough enough in that one industry to extract money from here, extract money from here, extract money from here, extract money from here. And by the way, I'm still just scratching the surface on there. So as I rolled out the online course, the next thing I did, which became my sixth stream of income, was doing online events. I started doing online events with Eventbrite. I would do Power of Attorney Masterclass. September 3rd, we have Control Chaos. If you guys don't have your ticket to that, let me put that link in there. Control Chaos, we're going to be teaching people about how to handle difficult chaos into cash flow. We have about a few tickets left. We actually have only 3 tickets left. So let me drop the link in there for you. Copy URL. And that became an additional stream of income, having online events. Because here's the thing with notaries. Notaries don't have a problem investing in themselves. There's just not enough people giving out great information on how to really scale their business, move rapidly, shorten the learning curve, and get to the money as quickly as possible. Other than that, notaries have no problem spending money on their education. They go to these conferences all the time. They understand for them to even get into the game, some of them have to pay to take a test. They have to pay for their stamp. They have to pay for their journal. Some of them go out there and buy a $500 printer. So they understand that there are investments involved in this industry. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I'm just saying, like, there's not enough instructors out there that can really, really help notaries take their game to the next level. So let's do a quick recap of all of the ways that I was able to get to the 6-figure mark. One, it was mentorship. That was the first and foremost thing I had to do. The second thing I did was create a Google business listing. Third thing I did was I created a call script. Fourth thing I did, I wrote a book about notaries in the industry. Fifth thing I did was create an online course. And then the sixth thing I did was start creating online events. Those became, and then get this, y'all, the call script, people enjoyed the call script so much, I packaged it and I started selling it. I started selling the call script. When people will tell you if you got some hot shit, they will tell you if what you have created has so much value that they would have paid you for it. When somebody tells you that, you instantly package it and start selling it to people because you have just created an asset for yourself. This is the mind shift. We're not entering this business as employees bringing in cupcakes and coffee and Dunkin' Donut munchkins and stuff like that. For me, that's not my thing. If that's your thing, knock yourself out. For me, that's not my thing. And I'm still, grazing the surface, y'all. I'm still just playing around in this industry. I'm just having fun, to be honest with you. So right now, I'm going to give you 10 ways that you can market yourself in the notary business. So again, get your pen pen and paper out. I'm going to give you 10, matter of fact, I'm going to give you 15 ways to start getting your phone ringing off the hook. And most of these ways are free. Okay. So the first one would be that I have on my list, creating a Google business profile or Google business listing for yourself. That's the first one. The second one is, if you have a couple of dollars, look into Thumbtack. If you don't know how to use Thumbtack, I recommend getting the course from my brother Tekamaku out of Oakland, California. He wrote the book on Thumbtack. He teaches notaries all the time how to get clients, high quality clients, by the way. I don't know what it is about Thumbtack, but they get a different class of people. They get a different class of people for notary assignments. I don't know what it is about Thumbtack. They must market to different people, but Thumbtack is a good one. Here's something that gets slept on a lot. Craigslist. Put your notary services on Craigslist. Also, put your notary service that you offer notary services on Angie's List. That's another one. Here's another one that I like that a lot of people sleep on it. Bing Business. Bing Business is almost like Thumbtack. They cater to a white collar professionals. I don't know what it is about Bing, but I like Bing. I like the clients that I get from Bing. So create a Bing business profile. That's free. Create a Yelp profile. Now, I don't recommend getting Yelp advertising because their advertising sucks. And they're very aggressive too, by the way. So if you ever dealt with Yelp, they will call you. They will call you and ask you to do advertising with them. They're very aggressive. But you could create a free profile and start getting some leads that way as well. Another way that you can get some leads, some really good leads, is go to 123notary.com. That's 123notary.com. Those the numerics, 123notary.com. I'm on their platform. Another platform, another good directory to be on would be notaryrotary.com. I know I'm going a little bit fast, but just keep up, y'all. Just keep up. So notaryrotary.com. One of my favorites is Notary Cafe. That's where I actually go to hire a lot of my notaries. So I go to notarycafe.com. Really, really good. Here's one from my brother Tech. He networks with different notaries. So do a simple Google search of notaries in your area and basically call them and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm a notary in Chicago as well. If you ever have an assignment that you cannot run or you're unable to run, feel free to shoot them over to me and I can run them and we can, chop it up on the pricing there and vice versa. If I have some assignments that I'm unable to run, I would love to facilitate those assignments over to you. You see, so you're bringing something to the table instead of saying, hey, title company, please feed me assignments. I have a notary stamp. Give me assignments, please. It doesn't have that beggar feel to it, right? Because you're bringing something to the table as well. What's the next one? Number 11 would be, if you have a couple of dollars, Google Ads. If you don't want to learn the technical aspects of Google Ads, you can look into one of my companies that I do with tech, which is called BlueSealAds.com. BlueSealAds.com, and we actually help notaries get assignments off of Google by creating campaigns for them. What's the next one? Bing also has ads, so you can do Bing ads. That's number 12. Number 13, again, this is another one that's slept on, YouTube videos. So let's say that you're really, really good at doing power of attorneys, and you know how important it is for a family to get a power of attorney. Create a video and put it out there on YouTube. One is going to help you out with the search engine so people can actually find you. I'll even say this. Look up power of attorney, lawyers explaining power of attorneys. Even lawyers are doing this right now. They're creating these very small 5-minute, 10-minute video. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. Just having your voice and, doing some, just showing a couple of documents here and there, you're good to go. You could just explain why it's important to get a power of attorney, who are the major players in getting a power of attorney, and how easy it is to get it executed. And at the end of that video, you say, if you would like to hire XYZ notary agency to do your next power of attorney, give us a call today. That's it. It don't have to be a long, drawn-out video. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, however you see fit. It's a great way for you to start getting business because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So why not be on the second largest search engine besides Google being number 1? So YouTube video is number 13. Number 14, you kind of got to be built for this one. Canvassing businesses. Not my personal favorite. There are a lot of people that are really good at it. What does that mean to canvass a business? That means you basically have a stack of business cards. You have some brochures in your hand, and you're going around to different nursing homes, tow yards, law firms, title escrow companies, and you're introducing yourself and you're asking them to give you business and letting them know what your services are. You could do that. Number 15 would be going to your local chamber of commerce. Going to your local chamber of commerce, introducing yourself, and then letting them know that you can notarize documents that come through the chamber of commerce and getting on the list. That'll be a great help to boost your business as well. And I'll give you 2 more. Here's one that gets slept on a lot: the foreign consulate. Going to the foreign consulate. So every major city has one. There's a foreign consulate for Ecuador, Mexico, Haiti, Jamaica, you name it. For every country, there's a foreign consulate for them. And what's nice about them is that they all need some documents notarized at some time of them arriving into the United States. So introducing yourself to them could be a huge moneymaker because they have people coming through the foreign consulate all the time. So that was 16. I'll give you another one. You could do, well, you should have a website. I mean, you could do websites. Websites help. But I would highly recommend start creating an email list, because you're going to need that email marketing down the line. You will need that email marketing because, like, let's just say right now I have about probably a little under 1,000 clients in my email list. Now, the great thing about that is that I can remarket to them. I could tell them, hey, we're doing a back to school special. Get your documents notarized for this back to school special. Halloween comes around. I could do a Halloween promotion. I could do a Christmas promotion. I could do a New Year's promotion. But if you don't have some type of email marketing in place, I use a company called Aweber. If you don't have some type of email marketing in place, what are you going to do? You're going to go through a list and call every single last assignment that you ever did. That can take a long time. So it's very, very scalable doing email marketing to your existing clients, missed clients, and potential clients. Okay. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I wanted to share something with you guys too. We are coming out with a workbook. So if you guys want to get first dibs on this workbook. So basically the workbook has this. It has my $1 million call script in there. It also has over 50 ways to market your notary business so people can find and call you instead of you reaching out and trying to call them and banging on their door and stuff like that. So it has over 50 listings that you can list with for you to get business. It also has a call tracking system, so you know exactly what is the hot document in your neck of the woods. Because see, I'm in Chicago, and what's hot in my neck of the woods might not be the same document that's hot in North Carolina. It might not be the same document that's hot in California. It might not be the same document hot in New Jersey. So each one of those places, each state has a very, very hot document. Washington, D.C. might have a whole different type of document. It might be I-9s. Here in Illinois, power of attorneys is smoking hot. I know in California, real estate is a hot document. So keep that in mind. So you'll get the call tracking system, and then there you get a whole bunch of bonuses and a whole bunch of different videos too. So if you would like that, just leave it in the comment section. Say special ops. Just type in special ops, and then we'll try to get that over to you. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got value from this. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Took a lot out of me today. I'm like tired after this talk right here. We almost been going for an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm tired now. So I wish you guys a great Sunday, a prosperous Monday, and I wish you guys the best, man. Keep in touch. Peace, love, and happiness. You heard? Peace.